This is a 2017 F250 6.2 liter fuel pump replacement video. So I think the 2017 through 21s, I believe, is the same. Again, it's a 6.2 liter. I'm not going to go through all the details of everything of how you actually redo the replacement. I'm just going to hit the highlights. It's a short video just with a few tips and tricks that I think may help you. These are the tools you'll need to do the job. 1/2-inch ratchet, extension, 13mm socket. I used this to run off the bolts once I had them broke loose. I broke them loose manually with this. I did notice that some of the folks in videos on the internet had trouble breaking clips if they used an impact. So I did not break them loose with the impact. I just ran them off once they were loose. I used this 5/16 ratchet wrench to take the hose clamp off that was on the filler neck, and this gizmo here to take off the 1/4-inch hose clamp that is on the vent line. I'm not a videographer. I'm not trying to make money off of videos. I'm just simply trying to pass along some information that I feel like made the job a little bit easier, and I hope it helps you. Okay, so you only have 8 connections to drop this tank to replace the pump. Those 2 emission lines here, this is the back of the tank. The rear of the truck is that way. So this is the back of the tank, 2 emission lines. All right, and then you have, I'm sliding around on the creeper here. Then you have the 2 filler lines. So you've got one that's a filler line and one is a vent line. So this is, the hose clamps can be very, very challenging if they're not turned the correct way. And of course they won't be, but you can see these have been replaced and they are facing the right way so that you can get to them if you ever have to do it again. Moving to the front of the tank, you have the 2 gas lines in the very front of the tank. And then on the very top of the tank, you have the connectors, electrical connectors that are actually attached to the fuel pump. You can see these lines are very, or these connectors are very difficult and tight up to the bottom of the truck. I found that I've watched several videos and a lot of people were trying to disconnect them with the tank in the raised position. And I just found that lowering the tank, you can almost drop the tank all the way to the ground and still have plenty of harness. So I just dropped the tank down about 6 or 8 inches and disconnected them that way. Much, much easier, and you didn't have to fight trying to disconnect them, and the tank is strapped. This is your harness that connects to the top of the fuel pump. You got 2 connectors, okay? And I watched several videos and everybody was showing, trying to disconnect these connectors while the tank was still in place. It was beyond difficult. This one wasn't that bad, but this one here, you just could not see this red tab that you have to slide. You just couldn't see it. So I dropped the tank down, and actually you can get the tank almost to the ground with the slack that's in this harness, and made it so much easier. So drop the tank before you try to disconnect this one. What happens with this connector is how it works is that tab right there is actually pushed in that way when it's locked in place, and you have to slide it back out. Well, it's difficult to do. So you got to get like a flathead screwdriver or something and work it out. Then you mash on the very top, this right here, that mashes in and then the plug pulls out. This one doesn't have the red connector, so all you have to do is mash this in and the plug pulls out. So, but with this red connector, you really can't even see it, and you're just kind of blindly reaching up there and messing with it, and it's just very difficult. So drop the tank down with your jack or however you're going to lower it. Drop it down, then take the connector off, and it's so much easier to do. These hose clamps that were on these hoses here were very, very, very difficult to get to. I'm assuming the bed was put on after the tank was installed, so whoever installed the tank just put the clamps, whatever was easiest to do for them. But this clamp was actually about there. And with the bed up here, it was just very difficult to get to. This one wasn't too bad. I just took an open-end wrench and was able to get it off. If you got a ratchet wrench, that works even better. But the way I got this small one off was this tool right here. I don't know where I got it from. I don't even know why I have it. But it's designed to put a bit, like a screw bit in. And what I did was used it directly on the hose clamp screw. It fits it perfect, 1/4 inch, and I was able to get it loose enough with that and then work it loose with this thing to just thumb screw it to get it all the way off. During this job, there is this vent line or emissions line on this end works this same way. So there's a clip in here that you have to pull out. Then you mash this piece in and you pull up. So when you put it back together, just reverse the process. So you push that down, it clips in, then you push that clip in, which locks it. There's a couple of them on here that work that way. So when I went to put the ring back on, it was very, very, very difficult to get on. I guess it's really tight, has to be to make that O-ring seal, but I ended up using an extension and just hitting it on the end with the hammer right here, and it jumped into place. So just know that may be just a little difficult getting that ring back on.